Nation.
SFL Nation. Welcome to a special broadcast here on our SFL network on YouTube. And to our new partner reveal, PressStats joins the SFL. I'm here with two special members of our league staff. and we're about to show you everything the league has to offer. Let me bring in my colleagues. The Director of Player Personnel and Head of Stats, Andrew Rastelli, is here. Andrew, you with us?
Hello, everybody.
What's up, Andrew? And ladies and gentlemen, introducing our new webmaster. Andrew, you may need to mute your broadcast. Is our, well, I may have already said it, but I got distracted. Our new webmaster, Liam Crowder. How you doing, Liam?
Hi there. Yeah, great to be here. It's taken a lot of work to get to this stage, but glad to finally have opened Pandora's box, as it were.
But here we are. SimulationFL.net is live, and Liam, I want to start with, before we really start diving into what this thing can do, why don't we take everybody back sort of to the beginning of how this all started, because just a few months ago, this was not even on our radar.
Yeah, well, when the previous version of the website came up, it obviously got quite a good reception, but the thing which we kind of noticed from my discussions with some of the other members of the league was some of the stuff was maybe not coming onto the radar as quickly as it could have done. And obviously, with yourself having to manually update the entire site, to explain to the guys, when you create a website, for the most part, if you're designing it yourself, you have to manually update everything, and that's what we were doing with the previous provider, which was Wix. None of the content was.
What? Did Liam just drop off the face of the earth? Liam,
I can't.
There you go.
Hello.
Yep, you're there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I came to you and discussed, well, do you want me to come on board and start helping out with this stuff and keep the site updated? And when you described your kind of vision of what you wanted to do, it's like, well, I've done a bit of dealing with web hosting and platforms and stuff like that. Why don't we look into maybe coming up with something for next season, the upcoming season, and see what we can put together?
Now
and it's gone from, yeah, sorry.
No, that's all right. I was just going to say, go ahead.
Yeah, so we've gone from having a concept to the stage where we are now, which we're showing off, which is essentially the site is all ready to use for the season to come. There's still stuff which we need to refine, we need to work on. It's going to be in a state of constant evolution. But what we've got now is a website all built on WordPress and the PressStats system, which is adapted from another piece of software. You can name it if you wish, Cam, which provides us with the facilities to get the stats in that we want, and to present it in a manner which is best befitting what we require as a league. So I'll let you take back the reins to kind of explain things and go around the site and show people what's what, because I'm sure they're excited to take a look.
Sure.
It's very exciting to be at this stage and actually be able to show off our hard work.
Right. So Liam's done a ton of work on this site, but Andrew has also done a lot of work as well. Rastelli, when people go to the site, and we're gonna walk everybody through what all is available through this, and this is. Let me stress, this is not just another website launch, because we've done plenty of website launches in the past. This is an epically intense update, an update of ridiculous proportions. Rastelli, you've been responsible for a number of projects on the back end of this thing. How much labor do you think you've put into this yourself?
Let's just say that I think my day job has been paying me to build this website more than it's been paying me to do what I'm supposed to do.
Feels like it for me as well.
I have to put my hat off to Liam. He really came forward with it and showed us what this was going to be capable of, and it's something that I've been looking at ever since Cam taught me how to do DAC stats, and I went, man, there's got to be a better way, and so we came across this, and we kind of had to truly mold it to our needs and to our into what it is that we try and show. So, but we were able to do so, and now this is something that some actual professional leagues do not even have available to them. I mean, this is going to be such a great thing for the league, and it's so just going to make it so easy to surf around for stats and info and records, and it's finally all in one central location.
So let's go through this site. If we are a new person to the SFL, and talk a little bit about the previous hiccups, and Andrew, I'll bring you in on this a little bit because you work directly with the players, right? So on the home page, you're able to access your Discord, the Discord servers, if you'd like to join us. Now, before maybe you even go to the Discord server, you might want to go to the About page, and the About page has all of the details of our league. It also has a link to that server, and then it also has our documentary. Let me turn my cursor on real quick so you guys can see what I'm pointing out here. So they have the About page at their disposal, but what else do they have at their disposal, Andrew?
Before, we had when players wanted to join the league, they basically said, hey, I want to join the league, and then they would join Slack and kind of just figure it out, and then join Discord, but it was still kind of the same way. But now, with certain rule changes that happened this season, we have the luxury of the open positions page and what we've referenced as the job board, essentially. Each team has a tab in the job board, and it shows staff openings and non-user star positions that are available. It also shows the, if you want to go to Dallas for me, since they have probably the best example of it. But they have, but then the open non-user star players will have their career stats there, so you kind of get an idea as to the position that you as a new user would be stepping into if you were to sign on to fill that role. And then there's also the FAQ, which kind of does some basic things as to how the league works in regards to what game are we using and how do we go about going for strategy and game planning and such. And that's going to be a great resource for new users to come in and kind of answer some of those really basic questions of what do I need to do first and how do I get more involved. So it's all right there at the top of the list. And even in the Contact Us section, you'll have the list of not only the league staff, such as me, Cam, and Jermaine, but you also have the play-by-play announcers and their Discord info, and then the team staff separated by team. So if you know coming in maybe what team you're interested in, and maybe there's no team spot available and you want to get on staff or start talking about next season, if we're past week 8, now you have the ability to go to that team, go to that owner immediately and start talking to them rather than trying to kind of figure it out, so to speak. So this kind of gives the new user the ability to initiate conversation rather than kind of joining up and waiting for DMs.
So yeah, previously they were all just sort of kind of lost, and we really didn't do a good job of giving our information or giving the information that people needed to get it. Now they can get everything that they need from the website through contact information, questions that they may have, the job board to see what's available, the about page. And we also have a history section to tell our story, and that's really been my pet project because I've really wanted to be able to tell our story. And Liam, you did a lot of work in terms of visually telling this story. You know, tell us, give us a little bit of insight and into what all went into this history section.
Well, the history section in particular, I mean, a lot of the stuff is stuff that we have had to enter manually from the history of the SFL, from the other websites, the other kind of stacks of information. And we've got over, I believe it's, I think we're getting on to about 500 games. So we've got like 500 games worth of data, and it's.
We lost Liam again. Come back to us, Liam. You want to pick up where he left off, Andrew?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what he was saying.
Hello.
Yeah,
I seem to keep getting cut off. I'll see how we go. I think it might be something with my headset, so no worries. So as I was saying, what we've had to do basically is take everything from the SFL's past, all the games and stuff, and all the playoff information and the championships, and stick it all into the website. So we got, I think we're coming up to 500 games at the beginning of this season. What we needed to do was to actually enter all of those stats and actually put all that information in there and allow it to be presented so that people can see, who the best team is, who's got the most wins, who's got the most points, all the player stats. So really for us, it's been a major effort in terms of actually getting all that stuff in there. And I know yourself and Andrew have obviously contributed massively to the data entry. Maybe myself less so, which is probably saying something about how difficult it is to actually do all that. But the history section, we've got each season. You can go and see each season. You can see in particular the schedules for each season, all individually filed. The playoff brackets, we've got some great looking brackets to actually show the particular course of how the playoffs played out. The evolution is because there's so much work that needs to be put in and so much data. Obviously, there will be stuff where there's going to be a few errors maybe in the data entry. That's where the kind of progress comes in, the ongoing work on the site being done, and it's going to be the SFL's community job to let us know if there is anything that they spotted which may be out of whack. We're obviously going to be working on this well up until the beginning of the season in terms of making sure that all the data is entered correctly, and it's important to have that continued involvement with the community at large. So
right. So and some things that people may see as we're scrolling through, we're still working on season 5 and season 6. Season 7 is almost completely put in. But for those wondering just how all this came together, it literally started with 0 players and 0 games. Right, Andrew?
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah.
So really, Liam and Cam have put in most of the players. I put in some of the rookies from this season. But I have hand entered every single statistic for seasons 1 through 4, season 8, and almost all of season 7. And if you ever wanted to know what a grind was, that's what putting in these statistics are. But as you can see from these leaderboards, it is really satisfying to kind of kind of see how it's developing. So I'm really pleased with how it looks, and it kind of makes the grind worth it to be able to really see the history of the SFL come together, and we're almost there. We have 20 games left. I have 20 games left of season 7 to do, and then just seasons 5 and 6 in order to complete. So once that's all done, I'm gonna make an announcement, and then I'm gonna set off some fireworks.
So essentially, Andrew, what we've got here is we're looking at the all-time quarterback leaders, and obviously they're like, as we were talking about some data entry, Matt Wilson does not have 110 interceptions, but that's a simple fix on the back end. And but we're looking at the records of all-time stats, and by the time the regular season starts, all 480-something games that have already been played in SFL history is. Sorry, Jeff. Again, we're trying to get all of this massive database put in, but all of the stats from all of our history now you're going to be able to track. And as you can see, Mac Wavy Jr., as of right now, although seasons 5 and 6 are not put in, you can see that he sits 6th on the all-time leaders in passing yards with 8,027. And Mac Wavy will know that he needs 141 yards to surpass Mike Dazzo for 5th all-time. And not only will he be able to track that every single week that he's on the field, but us as a league, us as play-by-play commentators will be able to track those historical records, and user players will be able to properly keep up with where their player sits and where their legacy stands when comparing themselves to the over 400 players that have ever played in this game.
Yeah, I think just to come in with, I mean, don't take any of the data entry stuff personally if there is anything wrong. It's as I say, it is work in progress. Obviously, the amount that we've had to put in, and there's ongoing work. I mean, even as we speak, I've been making amendments and stuff from stuff that you guys have mentioned. But I think probably what we'll end up having is there will be a channel or something that, like a list that we can go to, and just you can enter stuff in. Or you can even contact me directly if there's something particularly urgent. That's what my role is now as part of the league. And it's relatively quick for me to go in and make amendments. And if it does take a little bit longer, then you'll obviously be informed, but the idea is the foundation is there now to be able to go on and do even more things with this website, and we'll have a stable foundation going forward, basically. So
for whatever reason, anybody wanted to look up this epic game played by Kahlua and Grand Rapids back in Season 3. You can just click on their final score, and you can see that you've got all of the player stats from this game, who played in this game. And you can see that Rocco Marconi threw for over 200 yards that day, threw for a couple touchdowns, couple interceptions. And you'll see, like, some games the scoring summary's there, some games it's not. Again, we're actively putting together all of our stats from our database that we've had. But you literally, from every single game in SFL history, can look it up. And you can click on Adam Stackhouse, a player that's no longer in the league, and you can see what he did in every season of his career. You can see what teams that he played for, what seasons that he was a part of, and all of the games that he was a part of as well. And you're able to do that not just for Adam Stackhouse, for every single player that exists in the SFL, and you can go back through and track their progress and track their history, as it's all related to everything that we have in this database. So Do either one of you have anything to add relating to just being able to go through and look at past teams, current teams?
Well, I would say go ahead and let's look at a matchup from last season, say.
Okay.
In season 8, and
well, so I'd probably say just as an example in particular, if you look at one of the later, because essentially the kind of last few weeks are the ones which we had initially input, and they're pretty much up to scratch. So if you go to like the ones which has a video in, that'll give you an example of basically how it will eventually look.
So there you can see like a full box score. This is what it'll look like when we actually, like for next season, this is what it'll look like. And then you'll have the video there, and
you can actually listen to the game as you go through the stats.
Yeah, pretty much.
You can see easily who had the most receiving yards for Tallahassee that day. Who had the most tackles?
Now, one thing I will say, because this database is geared towards Liam's brand of football, there is no special teams category, so your kickers are going to fall under defense. If you're kind of looking for how your kickers did overall, you'll have to look under defense and organize by that particular. You'll see it there. It says FGA, FGM, and you just organize by that, and that's how you'll find your kicker stats. But unfortunately, there just is no.
Yeah, so we can go through and showcase on the all-time leaderboards here where you would find your special team stats, for example. So we go down to defense. Oh, actually, I've actually removed them from this. See, this is the difference, guys. With our old stat service, there really wasn't much that we had control of in terms of customization. I literally built these leaderboards by hand and included the stats that I wanted, but I can include what any stats we want. You know, if we wanted to put a special teams leaderboard that had everybody that returned kicks and include just kickoff returns, yardage, and touchdowns, we could. It is literally unlimited into our possibilities of what we are able to do and what kind of stats we are able to provide. It's all in the league's hands now.
Yeah, and that's kind of what my biggest thing was, that the biggest thing that we get from this compared to DAX stats is we have full control over this. If we want to start tracking a stat, we can. If we want to stop tracking a stat, we can do that too. We can edit players, so we can add people in the middle of the season. We can take them out, and there's no third party in order to get it done. We just do it ourselves. We do it ourselves. So now when I do box scores, I don't upload them to a server and wait for DAX stats to refresh their server. Now when I upload a box score, it's just uploaded. It's done right then and there. So it's going to be a lot quicker. Our stats are going to come a lot faster. And actually, now that I'm seeing Cam on it, these team pages that Liam designed are fantastic.
Yeah, it just I'll interject here to add a bit about like the team pages. The way that the software works, these team pages are designed by hand. So during the process of creating the site, we considered what exactly we wanted, and one of the main things which Cam was driving home was the ability to get owners involved and give them an element of involvement in terms of the way that they represent their team, basically, whether it's through Twitter or if it's adding postings on the site. So there's that element of it, and what we decided the best thing to do was, if you look at one of the older teams, one of the teams that doesn't exist anymore, you'll get an automated page which you receive from the back end software. There's the PressStats software basically, whereas the team pages we've specifically designed for each team in order to have the relevant information. So I think there was a mention before where the owner of one of the teams was incorrect. That's because the information in particular, we have to make the relevant amendments on there. But that's a kind of we have a degree of, well, what's the best way of doing this, and having that kind of hand designed aspect of it gives us a lot more flexibility in terms of what we want to do. And the way that this site is shaping up, there's not necessarily going to be the kind of limitations that we would have had with maybe the old site or other sites like this. I mean, this is just a completely bespoke design, and you see there's basically a whole lot that we can do on the back end, including letting team owners and others onto the site to actually be able to add their own posts and stuff like that. But I think another aspect of it as well was in particular, I think, in terms of what this actually does for the league. So I'll pass you back to Cam from a kind of administrative standpoint, I suppose.
Right. So we've got, I mean, obviously we've just got everything at our fingertips, and Liam, where were you going with that? So I didn't catch your transition.
So I mean, in terms of how this would affect the league in particular, I don't know, maybe in particular you wanted to mention that, but yeah, this gives us a real foundation in terms of the kind of projects that we want moving forwards. And as you say, the fact that it's all at our fingertips now, and we've got it's all integrated basically. I think that's one of the main things I wanted to drive at, just passing it through to you.
You see what we just did, folks? You want to look up a player, any player? Go ahead, Andrew, give me a player.
Oh, well, let's see who's here. Let's look up Dion Hawkins.
All right, Dion Hawkins. In case you don't know,
searched Andrew Rastelli. I'm just putting that out there.
You can see that you can see that his name comes up because his name is mentioned because he was involved in the Schedule 9 release show.
That's right.
So you can see that his player is here, and you can see what he did in Season 7. In Season 8 and Season 9, you can see that his current team is Chicago, that he's played for DC and Houston, that he's played from Season 7 through 9, his height and weight, his jersey number, his name, and his position. It also shows you all the games he played in Houston and all the games he played in DC. If you were to click on the 26-24 game against Mexico City, you would be able to see that Dion Hawkins in that game rushed 19 times for 150 yards, 2 touchdowns, 7.9 yards a carry with a long of 91, received 11 passes for 37 yards with a long of 12. So that is just simply finding the information on Dion Hawkins because we searched for him. And I wonder why there's 2 different ones. Anybody know? Same information. So I just wonder why it comes up twice, but it's all one and the same.
I'll review that. That's fine.
Who knows? Yeah, it's always a mystery.
The search function obviously has not been put to a massive amount of use just yet. But
clearly,
it works.
Right. You can see how it works. If we wanted to look at Matt Wilson and see what he's done, you can see that he's involved in the. Oh, okay, that's why. Okay, so because Matt Wilson is a co-owner, it brings up his profile of ownership, and it also brings up his player stats as well. So here's a look at his player. So you can see that Season 6 is all zeros because season 6 has not been put in the system yet, but you can see what he's done over the last couple of seasons. And there you see the bugger, 92 interceptions, obviously wrong, and then we just go back in and we review the leaderboards at least once a week so that we can catch little stat issues like that. And guys, these small input issues is not the same problem that we would have with DAX stats, where we would have to wait for 3 in the morning for the changes to take effect. These changes, literally, you tell us about it, we get on there, we fix the issue, and then we save, and then it's done, and everything updates accordingly. So this stuff is easily fixable if we ever see anything. And Matt Wilson's also mentioned in the power rankings here. We haven't gotten to the power rankings section of the site, Andrew, but this is something that we really wanted to get in.
So
this bit I'm quite excited about.
Power rankings have had a thing here with the SFL, but I think I finally came up with an idea on how these are going to work. And so now if you go to the power rankings, you will see each team has a tab and it's organized by the actual rank.
And these rankings are announced today. Yes, we had 21 votes.
Correct. This is the first look you've seen at the power rankings. We're in preseason mode, so we're just showing everyone's record from last season, where they finished, who they play in week 1, and then a write-up from either the local beat writer or myself filling in.
I want to get those beat writers.
You will notice that the beat writer write-ups are generally longer than the ones I did because I had more to do. But in the future, like after week 1, below the write-up, you will also have the box score for the previous game sitting right there, and you will just the team details like passing, rushing, total yardage, and third down stats and stuff like that. And then any news articles that come through about that team, about their matchup, I will also throw in there as well. And then it just kind of gives people something to work off of, to see where the league currently stands and how the league sees each team this season. So,
and then when people that want to participate in power rankings, they would hit submit your rankings here, and that would take them to a form where they could, from 1 to 16, rank the teams. Yes.
Right. So the form you guys filled out this time around is the same form we use every week. When rankings close, it'll take you to that cute little page that Cam just went to. But when they're open, we will open up as soon as all games are done, and you guys can go in and do what you need to do. So I'm really excited about power rankings. I think this looks better than just a numbered list on our communications. I think it just looks more fun to read, and it's more fun to take part in. So hopefully we can get more and more people involved in voting. We had 21 votes, which, to be honest, is about average. But 21 votes this time around for them, and I highly recommend that we have as many people as possible do them and really show where everyone thinks the teams sit. Every vote counts, so it might make a difference as to where the rest of the league kind of sees where you sit.
So the big difference between this site and maybe another, any of our previous sites is probably the most pages we've ever had on an SFL site is about 40. I don't have the exact number, but it's over 1,000 pages on this site with all of our data and information. Liam, what else is there? Is there anything that you wanted to specifically touch on or point to?
Like Andrew kind of touched on it a little bit. I don't know if we've gone into talking about the job board just yet. I might want to go into that, but specifically, Andrew talked about there, like the results, the box score will be in the power rankings, so you can just see it. You don't have to go anywhere else. That's one of the key things about this, is because the data's because the data can all be pulled in from the back end, it doesn't necessarily matter where it is. You can just get the information from the back end, stick it on any page that you want. The idea of like over 1,000 pages, obviously that's going to be far too much work for any of us to do. That's largely all automated stuff. I think the only particularly manually driven pages are the team pages, and various other pages on the main site. But because the automated pages are ones that we can select what we want to show on a mass scale, that's how we're able to do that and actually generate all the individual team pages and all the player pages and so on. So it's very powerful, the software that we're using, and as I say again, it's an ongoing process of looking into what people want and looking into what we want to do. And I know that we've had a few discussions over the past few days in preparation for this, like, where are we going to go in future with this? Because we're always looking forward and we want to move forward with the site. Essentially considering where we can go and what we can actually do to make things even better. So yeah, that's I think it's all very exciting stuff.
And the nice thing is, Liam, is that, like, for example, if Chicago wanted to add the video that Maurice Spurgeon did promoting their team, that's not out of the question, right? That we could find a place on their channel or on their team page to promote their guys.
Yeah, I mean, we want to, having something like this, it gives us a degree of control over what we want to do. So say you did want to do something like that, it would be, okay, well, how can we work this into the design and make it, we want to have consistency between all of the pages that we do. If we do them manually, like you see with all the season history, you see something like that, and that's all very much similar. You've got the brackets in a specific place, and we want to have a consistent design, and that's going to play a key part. But if there is something in particular that you guys want, it's a case of coming to us and letting us know, and we can certainly try and facilitate that.
So we're showing off right now the stats page, which is where you'll find all your Season 9 player stats. The team stats will be available either through the standings page, or we can create a custom leaderboard for them here as well. And every player that's going to be playing this season is ready to go onto their teams. Andrew, do you have anything else you want to add?
No, man. I'm so excited to finally get this launched and show you guys what we've been working very hard on. I really want to applaud Liam again for the many late nights and the willingness to step in and make changes out of nowhere. He's really been great, and obviously Cam.
I'm glad I'm actually going to be able to go and have some sleep now. That'd be very nice. It's been pretty awesome at going from just an idea to having this all in place, because I remember thinking at the beginning, like, oh man, I've got all this database entries to do, and then Andy did it. It's great. I didn't even have to touch it. It's awesome. But I think just one last important thing to stress is, obviously, this is all literally ready to go. Season 9 is ready. So irrespective of any concerns anybody has about the database, if there are any issues, obviously do report them. And there is stuff that we're constantly changing and we're adapting to make sure it's all correct. If you do see anything, it's normally something on this system which can be quite easily fixed. So just let us know. But I hope you guys are all excited, and we're certainly excited to finally, because once the website is in proper use, once we've got matches up, we'll be able to see what exactly this site can do, and you'll be able to see that as well. So, yeah.
All right. What's that?
I was going to say, if anyone sees anything that needs a change, particularly if it's something to do with your staff or if it's something to do with your team page, please reach out to Liam or Cam. And if it has something to do with your player or your statistics, go ahead and reach out to me, and that's how we'll kind of divide the labor for now. But really looking forward to the season so that we can finally see this baby come to life.
Yeah, we certainly are. Still putting in games every day. Still putting in stats, databases, leaderboards, all type of that stuff. So please be patient. We did not want to wait a second longer. We set this date as our goal to be finished. Obviously, it's a tremendous undertaking. And we had some bumps in the road, like the Revolution making the championship game, so I couldn't help out as much last week as much as I wanted to. But I would venture to say, guys, what would you say? Maybe about 80-85% filled in terms of all of our competitions and all of our players.
It's 100% ready for the season.
That's right.
We're totally ready, and I think the most important thing about the historical stats is this is the first time it's all been together. So there's obviously going to be a degree of we need to make sure that everything is correct, and we need to go over and do our fact checking. But consider that it's the work of 3 volunteers, and obviously now we're bringing on the league as a whole to actually make sure that all the stuff is correct and as we want it. I think that's a pretty good effort.
Yeah, and that's a great point. While our history is coming together for the first time all in one place, we were doing stats through Excel through season 4, through seasons 5 through 8. We're in DaxStats, and now it is all integrated into our PressStats system. But while that integration continues to finalize itself, season 9 is ready to go. All the schedules, all the players, all the games, all the leaderboards are all ready to be populated with your stats, with your victories, with your players, and with your triumphs and pitfalls. So we're certainly happy about that. I want to thank my webmaster, my official webmaster, Liam Crowder, for being outstanding. One thing that we didn't get to address here that I want to real quickly is and this may have been what you were going with, Liam, but I just couldn't remember it at the time. The gains that the league makes financially to further improve our league. DaxStats was an $800 a season cost. We have chopped that down to what, 160?
Sorry, I lost you a bit there. You couldn't just repeat that, could you?
Oh yeah.
Yes, you are correct.
Right.
We've cut the price by about $600.
So what that allows the league to do is it allows us to have a webmaster to continue to keep our website on the up and up. It continues, or it allows us to start here in the future paying our commentators, or paying our league president more, who deserves way more than he gets, paying Rastelli some more money for all the work that he does, for Liam, for our commentators, for our social media people that we're looking to hopefully step up and do all the work, and adding all of these people to the staff, giving them what they, well, honestly, it's not even what they deserve for all the hard work that they do, but giving them just a little bit of something for what they do will allow us to continue to grow our league to the 21 teams that we want to eventually get to. The 3 conferences of 7, playing everybody in your conference twice, and having one league postseason bracket down the road. We can't do that if we don't have a strong league support staff, and we can continue to grow our strong league support staff because now we are unburdened by the old technology and the financial constraints that DaxStats was leveling on this league. And it just gives us a ton of opportunities to grow, and we've already seen those opportunities grow with getting Curtis on board, who got referenced to come over and do play-by-play for us from a Twitch employee who knew all about the SFL. We're going to continue to get quality people like that if we have the wherewithal to say, hey, we can't give you a ton for your efforts, but we can give you something to show you that we respect the work that you do. Andrew, you have anything you want to add on that?
No, I'm good to go. Let's get started.
All right, yeah, I absolutely agree. Let's get started. The number 5 game on our top 9 countdown is coming up around the corner. PressStats and SimulationFL.net is now live. SimulationFL.com will also be going live with this site as well, but we've had some maintenance issues switching domain names over to different services and all that type of stuff that takes a little bit of time and is not instantaneous. So look for SimulationFL.com to resume working before the season starts. For Liam Crowder and Andrew Rastelli, I am SFL Commissioner Cameron Irvine, and we thank you all for being here tonight. Stay tuned for the top 9 countdown. Number 5 on our list. What great game do we have to relive next? PressStats and the SFL partnered together for Season 9 and beyond.
The following is a special presentation of the Simulation Football League.
Hello everyone, I'm your play-by-play commentator, Cameron Irvine. Formation handoff to Overstreet around the right-hand side. Overstreet picks up a butt, and there he goes! Overstreet! Touchdown! Wolfpack! The Heachul got a lot of space. Beautiful block. Heachul is all by himself, and you will never catch that man. Touchdown! Formation, Marconi back to pass. Marconi throws it over the middle, and it's a touchdown, Maulers. James Cooley with the touchdown.
Over to the end zone. One-handed catch. Oh, what a play! Chuck Imperano, touchdown, Baltimore.
Back to pass. Looking for the football, and it is recovered by Orlando at the 17.
Black breaks a tackle. Black with a step on. There he goes! Black! You gotta be kidding me! Touchdown, Houston! And off Anderson. Anderson again, left side. You gotta be kidding! Anderson!
Right on the move. West back to pass. West will go to the end zone. It is caught for a touchdown! Tallahassee Pride!
Get out of here! Wow!
It's the SFL playoffs, live on Twitch TV.
Welcome to County Stadium in Houston, Texas, for tonight's opening round playoff game between the number 3 seed of the Teal Conference, the Tallahassee Pride, and the number 2 seed of the Teal Conference, the Houston Hyenas. Hello everyone and welcome to Houston, Texas. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Cameron Irvine. Tonight, Tallahassee and Houston, a battle of 2 7-5 teams, and 2 young SFL owners who know all about the postseason in the last year. Let's head down to the field for the coin toss.
Good to see you again. You ready?
The visiting team will make the selection. What is the call?
We want heads.
It is tails. We'll take the ball. The home team will win the toss and select to receive.
Houston wants the ball. That's what they're going to get. Angelo Martinez has the ball on the tee. Season 6 playoffs. Kick it. We're underway. From the goal line, Bergens on the return past the 20 and up to the 24. And out comes Courtney Coleman, 87 QBR, 67 completion percentage, 262.9 passing yards per game, 20 touchdowns, 23 interceptions, and a long pass of 89 yards this season. First down and 10 at the 24 for the Hyenas. They start with a two-back set. And Coleman will start with a pass. Coleman down the middle. That pass is caught by Wiggins, breaking off a tackle and picking up 9. Houston in the home, black helmets, blue jerseys, blue pants with white numbers, and white pants, beg your pardon, white numbers and black trim. Tallahassee in the road, purple helmets, light silver jerseys, light silver pants, with the purple numbers, gold trim, and golden yellow paws down the side. Second down and 1. The handoff goes to Darnell Black. He's got a first down for Houston at the 35-yard line. Let's meet the Hyena offense. Number 9 is quarterback Courtney Coleman. Number 28 is Darnell Black. Number 80 at receiver, DR Sim. Number 84, receiver Josh Fed. Barry Bergens is the receiver, number 88, and the tight end is number 82, Brad Wiggins. Black takes the handoff and picks up 2. And Leo Evans has a loss of 2, rather. Leo Evans on the tackle. That's his second already of the ball game. Second down, 12 at the 33. After the 2-yard loss, Evans has both tackles on Black along that left side. Happy to have you along for the ride. I am your play-by-play commentator, Cameron Irvine, and it doesn't get more exciting than this, folks. SFL playoffs here on Twitch.tv as Courtney Coleman is changing the play. With 3 on the play clock, Coleman taking his time, back to pass. Coleman down the middle of the field, that pass is caught by Josh Fed for a first down to the Tallahassee 44-yard line. A very balanced, strong start for the Houston Hyenas. Let's meet the Tallahassee defensive stars. Linebacker number 51, Adam Stackhouse. Cornerback number 22, Darian McCormick. Cornerback number 29, Grayson Rivers. Number 33, strong safety, A.J. Barnes. And number 41, free safety, Troy Minerva. Courtney Coleman looking for somebody to get open, and wide open is DR Sim, past the 30, past the 20, and all the way down to the 16-yard line. A pickup of 28, and another Houston Hyena first down. Courtney Coleman buying time in the pocket. Heck of a job by Coleman, and eventually DR Sim was left wide open. And Coleman is really spreading the ball around. Sim, Fed, and Wiggins all with receptions here on the opening drive. First and 10 at the 16, back to pass Coleman. Coleman will fire it right side. That pass is caught on the sideline by Bergens. Will set up a second down and 5 at the 11-yard line. Hyenas could not be more pleased at this point.
Second and 4 from 10 yards.
They are feeding off the energy of this hometown stadium. Houston back to pass. Coleman into the end zone. It's knocked away. The official fell over in the middle of it all, and the pass falls incomplete. Dangerous play, but nearly a touchdown. Coleman put that ball pretty on the money there. And the Hyenas are trying to do what the Texans couldn't do for a long time in their first round playoff game this past NFL season, is score. Third down and 5 at the 11. Coleman is under center with 2 in the backfield. Back to pass after another changed play. Swings it out to Sim. That's caught first and goal at the 5-yard line. Sim with back-to-back catches. DR Sim, 1,198 yards and 8 touchdowns. Right behind him, Josh Fed, 837 yards and 7 touchdowns. Darnell Black, a whopping 1,548 yards and 17 touchdowns. First and goal at the 5. Coleman will throw it again. That pass is caught, and Black turns the corner. Touchdown, Houston! It's playoff time, baby, and the Hyenas know all about it. An exceptional opening offensive drive for Houston. Man, all week long, the Hyenas have been hearing about Tallahassee's 4-game winning streak. They've lost 4 out of 5 games. And their offense picked up right where they left off last week, as the extra point for the Hyenas is good, and Houston has a 7-0 lead on Tallahassee in the opening minutes of this ball game. Turner is back to return the kicks for the Pride. Both these teams finished 7-5 in the regular season. But Houston had the head-to-head tiebreaker edge, a 30-27 win in this building back in week 5. Tallahassee on a return past the 25, past the 30, onto the 31. Alexander West is the quarterback for Tallahassee. QBR of 77. He threw 4 picks in the first meeting between these two teams, and he has 35 interceptions on the season. 22 touchdowns, 3,351 yards. He sure can sling it around. 279.3 yards per game, 69.3 completion percentage. 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. West will start the game with a pass. Avoids a sack. West hit as he threw, and a pass is incomplete. Houston all over Alexander West on his opening throw. Dwayne Lane is what drives this offense, however. 1,941 yards, just shy of a 2,000-yard season. Ended up being the number 2 rusher in the SFL despite his Silver Star status. 19 touchdowns for Dwayne Lane. 2nd and 10 at the 31. Lane gets his first carry and got away from the initial pressure, picks up 6 yards. Meet the rest of the Tallahassee Pride offense. Quarterback is number 7, Alexander West. Dwayne Lane, number 23. Jordan Jennings is the wide receiver, number 88. Galvin Kidd, number 81, at receiver as well. 2 tight end set. Asante Dolman wears 80, and Jerome Logan wears 75. West back to pass. That pass is caught by Kidd. 1st down to the 48. Nice flip into the secondary as Alonzo Hamilton makes the tackle. Houston's defense led by Hamilton, who leads the league in tackles. Whereas number 52, number 95, outside linebacker DJ Majesty. Number 24, cornerback Aaron Arrington. Number 21, corner Aaron Payne. Number 26, strong safety Dwayne Blackwell. And number 4, free safety Kanye Rockefeller. 1st and 10 at the 48 for Tallahassee. Back to pass. West looking around, tipped at the line of scrimmage. Defensive line for Houston is playing a phenomenal first series. They've got to hurry and pass defended as Lawrence knocks it away and brings up 2nd down and 10 for Tallahassee. The Pride winners of 4 in a row, averaging over 40 points per game coming in, and just romped the Carolina Skyhawks 40-3 in the final week of the regular season to get in to the playoffs. 2nd and 10 near midfield. West is changing the play. Back to pass, West. West fires right side. Lane with the catch, and Lane's got a 8-yard pickup out to the 44-yard line. Payne on the tackle. Sets up a 3rd down and 2 for Tallahassee. Lane out of the backfield this season has just 31 catches, 150 yards. Not used in the receiving game as much as some of the other backs out there. Neither is Darnell Black, for that matter. 3rd down and 2 at the 44. 5 minutes into this first Teal Conference semifinal. Houston has a 7-0 lead. West changing the play again. 2 in the backfield. And Jennings, bottom of the screen, back to pass. Quick drop back, flips it out to Jennings. Jennings dropped the pass. Jordan Jennings was wide open. Perfect play call there by Alexander West. And Jennings, the gold star receiver, just flubs this catch. That's about the easiest first down that he could have gotten. And Houston's defense lucky to get off the field. Right now, however, Tallahassee's still got the offense out there. 18 on the play clock. Houston has to stay disciplined as Tallahassee is looking for an offside call. Or they may just go for it. It is the playoffs after all. Oh, Houston jumped offside. And Dwayne Lane got a first. Well, actually, Lane wasn't even in the ball game. Tallahassee still would have gotten the first down. Urban with the carry, who had a great week last week. But Houston jumped offside, and we're seeing the jitters from both teams early.
Neutral zone infraction, number 94. Defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
It's tough being the first game. The first game of the playoff schedule. It's just these two teams with all the eyes of SFL Nation upon them. Going to make their mistakes, and kudos to Tallahassee for testing Houston's nerves early on. Brings up a first down at the Hyena 39-yard line. Lane is back in. He's in the backfield. Back to pass West. Straight back. West in trouble again. Throws a wobbler to the outside, and Arrington nearly picked it off. Houston's defensive line has looked impressive, as we are already halfway through a fast-moving first quarter here on the SFL Network.
2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 at the 39. This is still Tallahassee's opening offensive possession. West goes out of the shotgun for the first time today, and the Houston defense with a 4-3 look showing an inside blitz. They bring the inside blitz, and West gets it away quickly to Jennings, who was run out of bounds at the 34-yard line, pick up a 5. Alonzo Hamilton came in hot, and West picked it up rather nicely. Hamilton has just been an absolute force this year. 128 tackles, 18 more than than DJ Majesty. 100 even solo tackles, 21 tackles for loss, which leads the team in 1 pick. 3rd down and 5 at the 34. West back to pass. West fires middle. Oh, and a diving attempt made to make the catch by Kidd. Falls incomplete. And Martinez will come out to attempt a very long field goal here to end Tallahassee's drive. That pass a little bit out ahead of Kelvin Kidd. And Martinez will try to get the Pride on the board. 25 of 26 on the season with a long of 51. This one is perfectly a 50-yard field goal, as the snap will come right at the 40-yard line. Right-footed kicker, left-footed hash. Angelo Martinez to get Tallahassee on the board. That 50-yard field goal is good. 4:49 to go in the first quarter. Both teams have scored on their opening possession. Tallahassee 3, Houston 7. Our next broadcast, Sunday, 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern. We stay in the Teal Conference. The number 1 seeded overall Louisville Wolfpack will host the number 4 seeded Orlando Intimidators, who also finished 7-5 like Tallahassee and Houston. That is Sunday afternoon here on the SFL Network. Deep kick from Martinez. Bergens from 4 yards deep in the end zone, and Bergens will get out past the 20 to 22-yard line. First down and 10 coming up for Houston at the 22. Two in the backfield with Courtney Coleman as Houston starts their second possession. Tallahassee took a lot of time off that clock on their opening drive. Deep drop back for Coleman, steps up in the pocket, fires left side, picked up by McCormick. 10-5, McCormick, pick 6, touchdown Tallahassee. Darian McCormick, who's been pretty quiet all season long for the Pride, gets a touchdown and Tallahassee storms ahead. Looking for DR Sim, and McCormick steps right in front of it. McCormick, arguably one of the more disappointing players for the Pride this season. 67 tackles, just 4 interceptions. But as a Gold Star, you expect more production. 7 tackles for loss. But McCormick makes a monster play on the football and gives the Tallahassee Pride the lead. And for Courtney Coleman, that is interception number 24 on the season. And Martinez's extra point is good, and just like that, Tallahassee scores 10 straight points and takes the lead here on the road, 10-7. What a time to have a pick six. It's Darian McCormick's first of the season. And it may be his first career interception return for a touchdown. Deep kick again from Martinez at the goal line, past the 20 up to the 24. So Coleman will come out and try it again. The fans a bit stunned by Coleman's bad throw. I mean, he just put that one right out there for McCormick to take away. And just in case Coleman thought that he could test McCormick today, McCormick sends him a friendly reminder. Darnell Black will get the carry left side, and Black is thrown down in the backfield, a 3-yard loss. McCormick is there again. Among others, and brings up 2nd and 13 back at the 21-yard line now for Houston.
2nd and 12 from 21-yard line.
2nd down, 13, Tallahassee 10, Houston 7. 3 receivers, 2 to the right side for the Hyenas as they try to regather themselves. Back to pass. Coleman flips it outside, caught by Bergens, but out of bounds at the 26. It'll bring up 3rd down and long. Coleman now 81 passing yards. Houston running on adrenaline on that opening possession, but since that opening possession, they've jumped offside on a 4th down, and they've thrown a pick six. And now faced with a 3rd down and 8 at the 26-yard line. Coleman's out of the shotgun. 4 wide receivers, 3 to the left side. Coleman back to pass. Looks left, that pass is dropped and incomplete. Had a chance to turn the corner, but another drop, this time by Houston on 3rd down, and the Hyenas will have to punt it away, and Tallahassee has stolen some early momentum here in the first quarter. Like the league on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube and Twitch channels, all at /SimulationFL. And if you want to get involved in the SFL, visit simulationfl.com and go to the Be in the League section to find what sounds best for you as Tallahassee returns up to the 45-yard line and will have excellent field position. Houston a touchdown, a pick, and a punt. Tallahassee a field goal and a touchdown, and West comes out for his 2nd possession.
1st and 10.
1st down and 10 at the 45. 2 in the backfield and 1 receiver out wide either side, Jennings and Kidd. And Black will take the handoff, and Black is stood up at the 46-yard line. No room there at all. Maybe got a yard. Hamilton is there again. Hamilton is one bad dude. 2nd and 9 at the 46. The winner will advance to take on the winner of Orlando and Louisville next Sunday, April 10th. Back to pass, and West flips it outside. That pass is caught. We'll set up a 3rd down and 4 at midfield. We'll actually have a doubleheader on Sunday, April 10th, of a conference championship action before we determine who will play in a championship game 6 days later. County Stadium trying to get behind their defense. 3rd down and 4 at midfield. And West out of the shotgun will throw, has time, fires down the middle, caught for a 22-yard pickup. Asante Dolman with the play. Dolman's first catch of the day. And Tallahassee looking really sharp offensively. Besides that Jennings drop, Hamilton with yet another tackle, but he could not keep up with Dolman, who's just a freak athlete. 6th-season veteran of the SFL. He bounced all over the place for a good while Was in Dallas for a while, was in Grand Rapids for a while. Finally found a home, was in San Francisco for a while, finally found a home here with the Pride in his second season. 1st and 10 at the 28. Back to pass, West. West flips it outside, pass caught by Jennings, just a 3-yard pickup. Arrington out there making sure that Jennings doesn't get more than he should have. But Tallahassee is once again in scoring position. 2nd down and 7 at the 24.
2nd and 6.
2:11 to go in the first quarter of play. Pride looking for their first offensive touchdown of the game. Out of the shotgun with split backs. Jennings bottom of the screen, back to pass. And West fires down the middle of the field. Jennings had it in his hands. I think he dropped it again. Jennings could have had a touchdown as he was rolling into the end zone. Rockefeller on the coverage, but Jordan Jennings with a couple of uncharacteristic missed opportunities here in the first quarter for the Pride. That's very uncommon for Jordan Jennings. He was tremendous in the playoffs last year in their opening round game in that victory over Baltimore. 3rd down and 7 at the 24. West back to pass. And West fires left side, nearly intercepted. Arrington got his mitts on it. Jerome Logan was the intended receiver. And once again, Houston Hyenas defense forces a Martinez field goal attempt.
Number 3, Simmons will take 2 from the 24-yard. Number 8 on the board.
This one from 41 yards away for Martinez. High snap, but the hold is perfect, and the kick is good. Tallahassee 13 as Curtis Young brought that football down. Laces out. Martinez and the Pride up 13-7. Sunday at 6 Central, second game of a doubleheader. The top-seeded Minneapolis Maulers will host the number 4 seed out of the Gray Conference, the Baltimore Crabs, who got in by virtue of their Central Division Championship. Both teams come into the playoff game after suffering Week 12 losses, but there's no doubt about it. That's going to be a thriller. Minneapolis and Baltimore coming up Sunday night. So 1st and 10 coming up for the Hyenas at the 23-yard line. They have stumbled their last couple of drives, and Darnell Black has been quiet here in the first quarter.
1st and 10 from 23 yards.
1st and 10 at the 23 for Houston. Trips right and play action pass for Coleman, then flips it out to Black. Creative play there, pick up of 4 yards to bring up 2nd down and 6. Black, 48 catches, but for just 171 yards, not very effective in the passing attack. DR Sim, 1,198 yards, leads the team. And that just kind of sort of came out of left field. It did not look like DR Sim was going to have a 1,000-yard season this year until that incredible Week 12 performance, 377 yards. Darnell Black has a 1st down to the 35-yard line for a Hyena 1st down. A.J. Barnes on the tackle. First down and 10 at the 35-yard line. Following Black's 1st down carry. 3-4 defense out of Tallahassee. 3 down linemen, they rush just 3, and Coleman flips it outside and picks up 4. Josh Fed with that catch sets up a 2nd down and 6 at the 39.
Second and 5 from 39 yards.
2 in the backfield with Coleman. Another 3-4 defensive look out of the Pride. Coleman back to pass. Coleman surveying the field, finds Fed on the outside again to the 47-yard line. Another Hyena first down, and Josh Fed has been a big part of this opening quarter with nearly a handful of grabs.
First and 10 from 48-yard.
Tallahassee 13, Houston 7, but the Hyena defense has not given up an offensive touchdown after giving up 62 points the previous week. Coleman back to pass, and Coleman will fire it into traffic. The pass is incomplete. McCormick on the coverage again on Wiggins, and nearly another disastrous throw there from Coleman. And 85 at quarterback rating. That's just under his season average up to this point. Three receivers Fed, bottom of the screen. Sim, top of the screen, maybe the final play of the quarter. Coleman will hand it off to Black, right side, and Darnell Black hit hard by Barnes. And that is the end of the first quarter of play. Tallahassee 13, Houston 7. This is the SFL Network, and we'll be back to Houston after these messages. Starting Sunday, become a part of the SFL broadcast and promote your business, channel, or league with an audio or video ad. It's $5 for a 30-second spot, $10 for a 60-second spot, and $15 for any video ad for a whole season. And any ad is free for the playoffs. All money is reinvested into the SFL, and we guarantee you your ad will run at least once a week. Support us by supporting you. Email simulationfl@gmail.com for more information. SFL, Rise S1. We'll be back to your game in 2 minutes. Coleman steps up and goes deep down the field to start the second quarter, and it's incomplete. DR Sim was the intended receiver. Welcome back to Houston. And on a third down play, that'll set up a 4th and 5 at the Tallahassee 48, and Houston will have to punt it away. Resetting the game, if you're just joining us, Tallahassee scored on a pick six by Darian McCormick to take a 10-7 lead. They since then have tacked on a field goal. The Hyenas scored on their opening possession. A swing out to Darnell Black. And this punt will roll into the end zone. So first down and 10 at the 24. Tallahassee, and Houston's defense is going to have to continue to step up as the Hyena offense has gone cold. 59 points last week against the Renegades, but they have shown spells throughout the season of struggling. 13-7 Teal Conference semifinal from Houston. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Cameron Irvine. And the handoff to Dwayne Lane is dropped in the backfield for a 3-yard loss. Houston's defensive line has been a big positive for the Hyenas in the first half. They have no stars on the line, but Elvis Sepp making the play. And if I had a good Elvis impression, I would totally do it. 2nd and 13 at the 17-yard line. Tallahassee up by 6 with the football. Back to pass, West, straight back, fires a slant. It's off the hands again of the intended receiver. That was Jennings. He's not credited with a drop this time, but it was thrown right to him, and Jordan Jennings' struggles are starting to get serious here in the first half. 1,325 yards this season. Jennings quietly a very good year, although coming in 3 of his last 4 games, he's had less than 100 receiving yards. 3rd down and 13, West straight back again, fires it out to Lane, and Lane will not get the first down, and Houston's defense, best they've been all day, forces a 3 and out, and Bergens will go back to return the punt. Nicely done by the Hyena defense. In their last meeting, Jennings just 53 yards on 6 grabs, but did score a touchdown. Averaged just 8.8 yards a catch, and that was one of his fewest yards per catch games this season. Bergens back to return from the 41-yard line, and he will be wrestled down right there. Great coverage by the Pride. Coming up, SFL Update halftime report. We'll have first half highlights from Tallahassee and Houston. And at the start of the second quarter, we will give you our gold stars of the first half presented by PressStats. All coming up on the SFL Update halftime report. 1st and 10 at the 42. Tallahassee by 6. Coleman deep drop back to pass. Goes down the field. Pass caught by Fed to the Tallahassee 28-yard line. Coleman has not been afraid to launch the deep ball here in the first half. Another Houston Hyena first down. Yeah, very different strategy by Houston's passing game as Tallahassee looks to be a bit more conservative against that relentless Houston secondary. Haven't seen many deep dropbacks from West. In fact, most of his dropbacks have either been straight back or 3 steps. Coleman letting it rip. 1st and 10 at the 28. 2 in the backfield with Coleman. Black takes the handoff. Black cuts back left, and Black will surge ahead for a 9-yard pickup into the red zone. Excellent running from Darnell Black. The good news for Tallahassee is Alexander West at least has stayed turnover free. 2nd and 1 of the 20. Houston on the move, trying to take the lead with a touchdown and an extra point. Hand off to Lane, and Lane around the left side will get a first down. Black, beg your pardon, Minerva on the tackle at the 14-yard line. Darnell Black picks up another Hyena first down. Troy Minerva, 82 tackles this season, 3rd on the team, 4 interceptions, 3 tackles for loss. Coleman's rating still hovering around his season average at 88. First and 10 at the Tallahassee 14. Back to pass Coleman. Coleman fires down the middle of the field. Caught for a touchdown. Brad Wiggins. And Houston has tied the game. Courtney Coleman looks pretty comfortable, pretty aggressive against Tallahassee. No fear. Got bit on the hand in that first quarter with that pick six, but Houston has responded nicely, and Tallahassee's inability to get to offensive touchdowns, having to settle for field goals in the first half, could be an important factor later in the game. Extra point for Houston is good. Tallahassee 13, Hyenas 14. The Teal Conference semifinal here on the SFL Network. Sunday, 3 o'clock, starts our doubleheader of more playoff action. The Orlando Intimidators at the Louisville Wolfpack. They met in week 12. Orlando a 38-27 victor. At Louisville, the Wolfpack took a 35-27 victory. From the 6-yard line, Turner on the return. Pass to 25 and sandwich there at the 27. West back at it after a 3-and-out last time for the Pride.
First and 10.
First down and 10 at the 27. And Houston's out of a 4-3 defensive look. Hand off to Dwayne Lane. Lane around the right side, has some space. Dwayne Lane picks up 16 out to the 43-yard line. Now 27 yards on 5 carries for Lane. Making it happen is Houston just over pursued that left side. If Lane would have been running left, then he would have been in big trouble. Rockefeller on the eventual tackle. Kanye Rockefeller for Houston. 93 tackles. This Houston Hyena team racks up the tackles. 6 interceptions, 1 fumble recovery, and 1 tackle for loss as well. 2 in the backfield. West straight back again. He'll fire it outside. That pass is caught by the fullback and a pickup of a modest 3. Rockefeller, another tackle for Houston. 7:10 to go in the first half of work. Courtney Coleman, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception that turned into Tallahassee's only touchdown. Dwayne Lane running strong, but just 5 carries here in the first half. Offside, Houston. Free play for West. West steps up in the pocket beautifully, and the pass is intercepted by Rockefeller, but it'll be wiped up off the board. Fans don't like it. West was just taking a shot. What the heck? But Houston jumps offside for the 2nd time at home tonight.
Number 90, defense, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
It's on Lawrence again. That'll set up a 2nd down and 2 near midfield for Tallahassee.
Let's go. 2nd and 1. Ball at the 48-yard.
2nd and 2 at the 48. 2 in the backfield, and Jennings is to the bottom of the screen. 4-4, 8 in the box. Rush just 4. West tried to squeeze it in there to Jennings, who's now been targeted 8 times with just 3 catches. Blackwell and Payne were all over it. Everybody dropped back for Houston, and I don't think West was expecting that as Blackwell came up. Even if Blackwell wasn't there, I think Payne probably gets his hand on that ball. Should have been an easy pick there for Dwayne. Dwayne, 98 tackles, 4th on the team. 5 tackles for loss, 3 interceptions. Each star on this Houston defense has an INT this year. Aaron Arrington leads the team with 8. 3rd down and 2 for Tallahassee. Hand off to Dwayne Lane right side, and Lane got away past the 40-35 and to the 30-yard line, a pickup of 18 yards 45 yards on 6 carries for Dwayne Lane here in the first half, and Houston looked like he had it all wrapped up. That was just great blocking. Rockefeller's 3rd tackle on this series.
1st and 10.
1st and 10 now for Tallahassee at the Hyena 30. Both teams are moving the ball efficiently, and that's kept this game incredibly close. 2 receivers, Kidd bottom of the screen, back to pass, and Kidd, nice double move on the outside, picks up 5 to the Hyena 25-yard line. That was really nice from Kelvin Kidd. In and back to the sideline, fooled Payne. 2nd and 5 at the 25 for the Pride. Shotgun split back. 7 in the box for Houston. They rush a linebacker, swing outside, caught by Kidd, turns the corner and gets 13 down to the 12. Payne on the tackle, but a nice job acrobatically by Kelvin Kidd to turn it around, make sure he doesn't find the sideline, and pick up the 1st down. Kidd all sorts of turned around with a couple of Hyenas closing in on him. Kelvin Kidd's been big on this drive.
1st and 10.
7.5 yards a carry for Dwayne Lane. 1st and 10 at the 12. 2 receivers, 1 to either side. And the handoff goes to Lane, and Lane picks up 7 to the 5-yard line. Blackwell on the tackle, but there has been no answer in the first half for Houston's defense for Dwayne Lane. Every time he gets the football, he has gotten some big chunks of yardage. And if I was Tallahassee, I'd just run it a couple more times, although Houston is all in here. 9 in the box for the Hyenas. They're going to hand it to Lane and try it anyway, and Lane didn't get anything. And in fact, Dwayne Lane may have lost a yard. Arrington on the stop on the outside, 3rd and 4 at the 6. Tallahassee still without an offensive touchdown here in the first half after 4 offensive touchdowns last week against Carolina. 3rd down and 4 at the 6. Out of the shotgun, West. West back to pass. West fires back in the end zone, and he dropped it again. Dwayne Lane was wide open, and I think Arrington came in on the coverage. I don't think he got a hand on it, but he distracted Dwayne Lane from making the catch, and again, Tallahassee misses an opportunity to put 6 on the board. For Martinez, this will be his 3rd field goal of the half. This is shortest, a 22-yard kick, another high snap. The field goal is good. And it's now Pride 16, Houston 14. But Tallahassee shunned from the end zone once more. Sunday night, just 72 hours from now, same time, same place. Minneapolis hosts Baltimore. The Maulers stunned by Queen City in week 12, 58-50, but won 11 in a row after that. The league's most explosive team in action Sunday night in prime time on the SFL network. First and 10 for Houston, back down by 2. These two teams giving each other all they can handle. 3 in the backfield for Houston. First time we've seen that tonight. The handoff will go to Black. Right up the gut, Darnell Black. And tough running from Black. Picks up 4. These two backs are just running so hard. In the only meeting this year, Darnell Black, 151 yards on 27 carries and 2 touchdowns. Strong power eye again here from Houston. 2nd and 6 at the 28. Coleman back to pass. Coleman will check it out near side, far side rather, and it's a loss of a yard. Hit the fullback instead of Dwayne Lane, and it'll set up a 3rd down and 7. Of course, that strong power eye is the reason why Darnell Black shattered the running back numbers, but teams quickly adjusted. 424 yards that night against Louisville. Seems like ages ago. 3rd down and 7 at the 27. Coleman back to pass. Coleman is in trouble. Avoids a sack. Coleman down the field and caught through an official. 1st down to the 40-yard line for DR Sim. What a job by the official to get out of the way of the pass. We've got to see that again. Coleman, what an acrobatic job, and the official just gets out of the way to allow DR Sim to make the play. The upper body strength of Courtney Coleman to shed the sack. Tremendous. 1st and 10 at the 40. 3-2 set for Tallahassee's defense. Final play before the 2-minute warning. Coleman back to pass. He'll flip it out to Sim. That pass is a 4-yard completion. We've hit the 2-minute warning. Tallahassee 16, Houston 14. This is the SFL Network. Second and 6 at the 44 for Houston. 3 receivers, 2 to the right side, and Black is in the backfield. Back to pass, Coleman. Deep shot down the field, knocked up in the air, and incomplete. Minerva and Stackhouse had a shot at it. Minerva, a couple of interceptions, including one late in that victory over Tallahassee. 4, or a victory over Carolina rather. 4 on the season for Minerva, totaling 54 yards. McCormick and Rivers also 4 coming in. Of course, McCormick's 5th went for a touchdown earlier in this half. 3rd down and 6 at the 44. 1:53 to go. Coleman to throw. Coleman down the field, tipped up in the air and intercepted. Intercepted and returned up to the 41-yard line by Barnes, who was tremendous this season as a bronze. Now 11 interceptions. As McCormick initially tipped it up, McCormick is playing maybe his best game of the season. 2nd interception by the Pride secondary, and they take over up 2, and both teams still all 3 timeouts. 1:45 to go, 2 in the backfield. Lane has been unstoppable. He'll take the handoff, and Dwayne Lane around the right side's got room. Past the 40, Dwayne Lane to the 31-yard line, a pickup of 28 yards. What a run to once again get Tallahassee in scoring position. And Lane has to be approaching 100 yards. 4 250-plus yard games for Dwayne Lane. He has been one of the biggest surprises in the SFL this season. West to throw, and West fires down the field, caught to the 12-yard line. Jordan Jennings with Blackwell draped all over him with 1 minute to go before the half. Tallahassee's in the red zone again, and coming away with a touchdown or a field goal is big. Back to pass. West down the field, caught for a touchdown. Calvin Kidd and the Tallahassee offense finally gets an offensive touchdown, and the Pride have 13 points off of 2 Courtney Coleman interceptions. I don't know what Alonzo Hamilton was doing. He thought someone else was going to take him, and someone told Hamilton, hey, turn around. Ball's coming right for you. Hamilton, a rare misstep defensively, and Tallahassee can take a 9-point lead. Extra point is good, and twice in this half, Tallahassee has kicked a field goal, gotten an interception, and turned it into a touchdown. 23-14 Pride. Still 45 seconds and 3 timeouts for the Hyenas. The Pride didn't even need to take a timeout in that 2-minute offense. Martinez kicks it deep. There is a slight breeze blowing right to left on your across your screen as Bergens returns out to the 26. Can Houston at least get a field goal on the board to keep it a 1-score game heading into the halftime? SFL Update halftime report. First half highlights of Tallahassee and the Hyenas, followed by the Gold Stars of the first half, presented by Daktronics. 1st and 10 at the 26. Off to Darnell Black, who picks up 3, and Houston going ultra conservative here to end the half. Tallahassee will get the ball to start the second half. I'm surprised the Hyenas are not being a little more aggressive here. 23 seconds left. Don't trust Courtney Coleman right now, apparently, after a couple of big interceptions here in the first 22 minutes of action. Black's in the backfield, down to 12 seconds to go in the half. Coleman's changing the play. We'll see if he calls his number. Down to 7 seconds to go. Coleman back to pass, swings it outside, pass caught. 4 seconds left, but not even able to get a Hail Mary pass off as Fed makes that last completion. Or gets that last reception, rather. Third down, final play of the half. Coleman will just run it out. Hand off to Black, got a first down, and actually Houston is going to call a timeout with 1 second to go. So conservative, yet a bit aggressive. Coleman and coaching staff discussing strategy, maybe some disagreement there on how this situation should have been handled. Still not in range for Coleman to chuck it deep. Maybe trying to get Darnell Black on the last play of the half loose. That's what they'll do. Hand off to Black. There's no room to run. That is the end of the first half. Tallahassee 23, Houston 14. The SFL Update halftime report is coming up next.
First and 10 from 30-yard.
Start of the second half, Dwayne Lane takes the handoff. We had some technical craziness there for a minute there. We apologize for the difficulties. I don't know what in the world was going on there. But second down and 3 for the 36 for Tallahassee. I try to regain my composure here as we start the third quarter. The Pride up by 9. Hand off to Darnell Black again. Black picks up a first down to the 45, a 9-yard pickup. And let's take a look at the gold stars of the first half presented by PressStats. 81 rushing yards for Dwayne Lane. No touchdowns, but Lane was the catalyst in the first half, and he's already up over 90 to start the second half. A.J. Barnes, 6 tackles in that late interception that turned into a touchdown. And Josh Fedd also with 71 receiving yards in that first half of work. Those are your gold stars of the first half, presented by PressStats. Dwayne Lane takes the handoff and picks up 7, the Hyena 48.
Pick up a 7 on the play. Number 26 with the tackle. Second and 3. Ball at the 48-yard.
And off to Lane. Lane lost a yard. It'll bring it third down and 4.
Number 23 with the play. Credited with the tackle. No loss of 1 on the play. Third and 4 from 39-yard.
Third down for the Pride on their opening possession of the second half, and that pass is incomplete, nearly intercepted. Majesty in the vicinity, and Tallahassee will start the half off with a punt. Good stand for the Houston defense. Tallahassee kicks it away. Inside the 10. This punt may be downed. Yeah, no, it went in the end zone. Give me a moment, folks. That end of the half was out of control, and we're still trying to figure some things out of what went wrong here.
First and 10 from 20-yard.
First and 10 at the 24. Houston down 9, but starts the second half off right. Boy, what a play on the outside. That was Barnes again. A.J. Barnes with the stop, who had that interception late in the first half, was a gold star of the first half, and he laid it out to knock that pass away. Sets up a second and 10 for Houston.
Second and 10 from 20-yard.
McCormick had the pick 6. Tallahassee scored the final 10 points of that first half. And the handoff goes to Black, and Black didn't get anything. Third and 10. Black now less than 3 yards a carry in this game.
No gain on the play. Third and 10. Ball at the 20-yard.
Third down and 10 coming up. Ball to 20. Coleman back to pass. Trying to avoid a 3 and out. Deep shot. Got Sim wide open. DR Sim 30, 20 in a foot race. He gone. Touchdown, Houston. DR Sim basically just a straight go route, finally leveled off towards the Tallahassee sideline. Burns McCormick, and it's back to a 4-point game. Extra point coming for Houston. And the extra point is good. Tallahassee 23, Houston 21. It's a 2-point game, as even my math is failing me here in the opening minutes of the half. But we're back on track now. Man. From the 12, Tallahassee on a return, up to the 31, that's Turner. So Courtney Coleman, despite the 2 interceptions, 3 touchdown passes to 3 different receivers, Black, Wiggins, and Sim. And without the turnovers, the Hyenas would easily be winning this game.
First and 10.
Tallahassee's 2 touchdowns have come off of Houston interceptions. Otherwise, they've not been able to get in the end zone. First and 10 at the 31 for West. Back to pass, straight back. West fires to Lane. Backwards throw. Lane picks up 5 before he's run out of bounds.
Let's go. Second and 4.
Lane takes the carry and picks up 4. Nice job of pushing the pile forward. Dwayne Lane now 111 yards.
Number 26.
Still averaging over 7 yards a carry, and another 3rd and short coming up here for the Tallahassee Pride. Winner advances to play Louisville and Orlando. Sunday, April 10th, the doubleheader starts at 3 Central, 4 Eastern. 3rd and 1 from the 40. Lane takes the handoff, got a first down. Lane past midfield. Lane 40, Lane 30. Lane gets a block late, and Dwayne Lane will score. The Pride answer back, as Houston has no answer for one of the league's best backs here in season 6. Lane left side at this time, which has not been his MO of recent weeks. And this block, I guess, on the side of Dwayne Blackwell, so it's legal. But just when you thought Houston had captured some momentum, forcing a 3 and out, scoring a touchdown, Tallahassee comes right back and separates the margin once more.
Number 8 will hold the kick.
Extra point for Martinez is good. And Tallahassee, who's averaged over 40 points per game during their 4-game winning streak, has 30 here early in the 3rd. If Houston's going to win this game, they have to do a better job on Dwayne Lane. They cannot continue to keep giving Dwayne Lane 8, 9, 10 yards a pop like they have. Bergens from 3 yards deep in his end zone, out past the 25, then takes a, past the 20 rather, takes a huge shot at the 23. First and 10 at the 23, 9-point deficit for Houston. Nothing they can't get past as Darnell Black takes the handoff, and Tallahassee does a phenomenal job of stretching out Darnell Black. And defense for the Pride, led by Stackhouse, Barnes, Minerva, Rivers, and McCormick, doing their job. 2nd and 12 at the 21. Hand off to Black, and Black churns ahead for 7. McCormick and Minerva combine for the stop. Big 3rd down and 5 coming up here for Houston. They got to make something happen. Keep Tallahassee on their toes. Coleman's going to throw. Deep shot. Sim! There he goes again! DR Sim 30! It's become a shootout inside the 10. Touchdown! 21 points in the last 5 minutes. And it's back to 3. This is the DR Sim that we saw in Baltimore last year. And he is starting to take over the offense for the Houston Hyenas. Back and forth they go. Extra point for Houston is good. Pride 30. Hyenas 28. It was 23-14 at the half. Houston forced an opening series punt by the Pride, then scored, then the Pride scored, then the Hyenas scored, and here we are. And that is Courtney Coleman's 4th passing touchdown of the day. Short kick from the 12, Turner on the return. Turner past the 30 to the 33-yard line. Coleman had tied a season high with 4 touchdowns against the Renegades. He also had 4 against Louisville back in their meeting on February 25th, but Coleman has not thrown for 5 touchdowns in a game this year. But he just might tonight. 1st and 10 at the 33. West is changing the play. Empty backfield out of the shotgun. Back to pass West. West fires down the field, and the pass is caught by Jennings. Boy, have these two teams opened up the playbook. Jennings now 5 catches for 53 yards and a Tallahassee Pride 1st down. Rockefeller yet another tackle. Orlando, Louisville is our next Teal Conference semifinal, Sunday 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern, as Orlando tries to shock the Wolves in Kentucky. West straight back, fires down the middle, pass knocked away. Majesty with the deflection. BJ Majesty, 110 tackles, 3 interceptions, 18 tackles for loss. Has really, for a bronze player, I mean, has just a tremendous season.
2nd and 10 from 46-yarder.
2nd down and 10 at the 47. And off to Lane. And this has been Houston's problem all day, although Hamilton does a nice job of showing no quit. Only a pickup of 4. Big 3rd and 6 coming up for Tallahassee. Like the league on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube and Twitch channels, all at /SimulationFL. Check out the Inside the SFL podcast every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. As West pass is complete for a 1st down by Jennings. who's on fire and has to stop, drop, and roll. DR Sim, 202 yards this afternoon. Also, if you haven't checked it out, the playoff primer show with myself and Stephen Mullinex is on YouTube. 4.5 to go in the third. Tallahassee by 2, and Houston jumps offside again. Free play for West, and that's Lawrence again jumping offside. That's at least his second on the day, and the third for the Hyenas.
Neutral zone infraction, number 90, defense, 5-yard penalty, repeat, first down.
DR Sim, his second consecutive 200-yard effort after a season high of just 139 yards against Orlando the week prior to the explosion of week 12. So his 3 best games of the season have come in the last 3 weeks. He could not have picked a better time to start showing up for the Hyenas offense. 1st and 5 at the 27 for West. West back to pass. West is pressured, fires down the middle of the field, and knocked away. I believe Hamilton got a hand on it. Alonzo Hamilton in the coverage. Asante Dolman and Jerome Logan have been a bit quiet in this game. Houston beat Tallahassee in the first meeting 30-27, and we're just about at the same score here.
2nd and 5. Ball at the 27-yard.
2nd and 5 at the 27. 2 receivers, both to the left side for the Pride, protecting a 2-point lead, trying to advance. West back to pass, deep shot again, pass picked off by Hamilton at the 8. And I believe that's Tallahassee's first turnover. Looking for Jennings, he was double covered. And Alonzo Hamilton gets his second interception of the season. Darnell Black just 40 yards on 14 carries. Dwayne Lane has won that battle, but Houston's defense gives the Hyenas a chance to score their 3rd touchdown of the quarter. Back to Bass Coleman, steps into the pocket, fires down the field, caught wide open to the 30-yard line. Josh Fed, a pickup of 22. Fed's first catch of the second half after he was a gold star in the first half. Fed now nearing 100 yards. Houston's offense has been real aggressive in the 3rd quarter, and it's paid off. Testing the will of that Tallahassee Pride secondary. Coleman's out of the gun with 4 receivers, 3 to the left side. Hand off to Black. Black, stiff arm. Darnell Black, get off me to the Tallahassee 45. Best run of the day easily for Darnell Black as he threw A.J. Barnes to the ground.
First and 10.
1st and 10 of the Pride 45. Hyenas have crossed midfield. Hand off to Black again, and Darnell Black pushes forward for 6 yards. Good to see Darnell Black finding some room for the Hyena fans. 6 catches for 202. Another big day for DR Sim, most of that coming on those 2 long touchdown passes. Black takes another carry, breaks a tackle. Black got a first down to the 35. And all of a sudden, the Houston Hyenas have a running game in this ball game. .238 to play in the 3rd quarter. Tallahassee 30, Houston 28. First of 4 conference semifinals here on the SFL Network on Twitch. Hand off to Fed. And Fed picks up 2.
He picks up 2 yards on the play. Number 52 with the tackle.
2nd and 8 at the 33. In fact, I think, did Black carry that? I was on that halftime thing really, that was really crazy. 2nd and 8 at the 33. Black, no gain. 3rd down and 8 now. Parker on the stop. It would be a long field goal, 50-yard field goal from here for Houston.
3rd and 7.
336 yards and 4 touchdowns for Courtney Coleman, who's shaken off the 2 interceptions in the first half. 3rd down, Coleman. Coleman back to pass, is going to have to check it down to Black. Black in a race for yards. Picks up maybe 1.5 yards. This is going to be a very long field goal attempt for Houston, but it would give them the lead. Jones is the kicker, his first field goal attempt of the day.
Number 3, James with a field goal attempt, 31 yards. Number 13 will hold the kick.
From 48 yards, bad snap. The kick is up, and the kick is short, way short. That was a horrendous snap. Almost rolled to the kicker. Didn't get a look at that snap, but that caused the timing to be way off. Right on line was Jones, but Houston misses an opportunity to take the lead heading into the 4th quarter.
1st and 10. From 38 yards.
Tallahassee will take over from their own 38-yard line. West, I don't know how that pass was even nearly caught. Kelvin Kidd was the intended receiver. Hamilton knocked it out of his hands. 2nd down. Risky throw there by West, who has just 1 interception today, but it did not hurt the Tallahassee Pride, who end up getting a stop at the end of the drive. Points off the turnovers. Big story today. Straight back West. Fires backwards pass to Lane. Lane makes a man miss. Picks up 5. 3rd and 5 at the Tallahassee 43-yard line. Surprise after Dwayne Lane's touchdown that Tallahassee did not come out and continue to run the football. County Stadium loud and proud. Their Hyenas down 2. Final play of the 3rd quarter. West changing the play. Back to pass. West fires outside. Jennings caught. Actually, there will be one more play in the quarter, but Jennings, who dropped a similar route back in the 1st quarter on 3rd down, moves the sticks for the Pride up 2. And that will be the final play of the 3rd quarter after all. Tallahassee 30, Houston 28. This is the SFL Network. Starting Sunday, become a part of the SFL broadcast and promote your business, channel, or league with an audio or video ad. It's $5 for a 30-second spot, $10 for a 60-second spot, and $15 for any video ad for a whole season. And any ad is free for the playoffs. All money is reinvested into the SFL, and we guarantee you your ad will run at least once a week. Support us by supporting you. Email simulationfl@gmail.com for more information. SFL, rise as one. We'll be back to your game in 2 minutes. Start of the fourth quarter. West avoids a sack. West still on his feet and got 1 yard before he's pounded down near midfield. Ten and a half left to go in the opening game of the SFL Season 6 playoffs. Hand off to Dwayne Lane. He picks up 3. 3rd and 6. Blackwell on the tackle as Lane flips the ball in his direction. More exciting playoff action coming up. Minneapolis hosting Baltimore Sunday, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on Twitch.tv. West is out of the gun on 3rd down and 6. Back to pass, fires, caught for a first down to the 40. West now up to just 148 yards on the day. Jennings on the tackle. Feels like West has thrown for more than that.
Let's go. 1st and 10.
First down and 10 at the Hyena 40-yard line. Tallahassee's got a 2-point lead. Pride swing it outside, caught. 3-yard pickup, 7-yard pickup rather. 2nd and 3 to the Hyena 32. Kelvin Kidd on the catch. Fresh reminder of the stars on the field for Tallahassee: West, Lane, Jennings, Kidd, Dolman, and Logan. Logan still without a catch in this game. 2nd and 3 at the 32. Hand off to Lane. Lane's got, well, he did get the first down. Majesty does a nice job of getting off his block. And too little too late, though, for Majesty.
1st and 10. 28-yard.
As it'll be first down for Tallahassee again at the Hyena 29-yard line. Martinez has already hit 3 field goals today. A field goal would increase the Pride margin to 5, or they could go back up by 9, where they've been a couple of times today. Dolman with the catch, picks up 6 for the 23. There are the updated quarterback numbers. Courtney Coleman has turned in an exceptional afternoon, and it ended up being, at least with 8:26 to go.
2nd and 3.
But will the early interceptions end up haunting an otherwise fine performance? 2nd down, West. Shot down the field, knocked away. Aaron Arrington on the coverage. I believe Logan may have been the intended receiver. Could have been Jennings. This 3rd down means a lot. They all do at this point in the game. Kidd, bottom of the screen. Jennings, top of the screen. 3rd and 4 at the 23. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Cameron Irvine, for this playoff semifinal. And the pass is caught inside the 5, down to the 3 by Jennings, a pickup of 20. Perfect throw from Alexander West. The winner takes on the winner of Orlando and Louisville coming up Sunday afternoon. 1st and goal for the Pride with under 8 minutes to go from the 3. 10 up on the line, hand off to Lane. Lane, nothing. Lost a yard. Arrington on the stop. He's done that a couple of times today inside the 5.
Second and goal.
Out of the shotgun, split backs for West. West back to pass. West fires! It snuck away and nearly intercepted. Hamilton had a shot. And now on 17, Jordan Jennings targets 9 catches, 3rd and goal. Houston's red zone defense, particularly down here in the tight quarters inside the 10, has been remarkable. A stop here means the difference between a 1 and 2 possession game. 2 in the backfield with West. West will hand it off to Lane on a trap, and Lane didn't get there. Down to the 1, but he's short of the goal line. And for Tallahassee, you got to take the points, as Houston's defense gets another monumental stop. So B. Martinez's 4th field goal of the day. They just keep getting shorter for him. This one is 25 yards, and that 18 yards rather, and that kick is good. 6:35 to go. Both teams have all 3 timeouts, and Tallahassee's lead is 5, 33-28. Pride kick it away. From the 5. Houston on the return, past the 20. Bergens to the 26. Houston, no doubt, within striking distance. The Hyenas, I'm trying to remember here. I don't think Houston is led in this game. 1st and 10 of the 26. Oh, and Tallahassee just jumped offside. They just almost bowled the center over. Tallahassee a little bit too aggressive to start the drive, and that'll give Houston some momentum. Houston led 7-0 and 7-3 early in this game. They have not led since throwing that pick 6. At least not to my knowledge. 19 carries, 77 yards, if I'm remembering correctly. Black's day has slowly improved. 1st and 5 at the 31 for Coleman. And off Black, lost 3. I jinxed him. Evans on the stop. Now 2nd down and 8, and the offside penalty doesn't end up hurting Tallahassee too bad. Time ticking on one of these teams' season. Sim, bottom of the screen, got 202 yards on 6 grabs. Back to pass, Coleman. Coleman down the field looking for Fed. The pass knocked away by Barnes. How big has A.J. Barnes been all year long? Easily, I think the Pride's most valuable defender. That is just how good he's been.
3rd and 8. Ball at the 28-yard line.
2nd on the team in tackles, 1st on the team in interceptions, and among the league's best in interceptions. You just can't get better production out of a strong safety than that. 3rd down and 8, back to pass Coleman. Coleman swings it out left side to pass this. Wow, it's caught. I don't know how it was caught, but it's shy of the 1st down. Fed with the 5-yard pickup, but it's 4th and 3. And Tallahassee's defense forces a 3 and out. Not a good series there for Houston, despite it being 1st and 5. 3 plays and 2 yards for the Hyenas there.
Oh yeah, Bunner, I'm coming. I'm locking in.
Turner back to return at the 25. And got a decent return up to the 29-yard line. Tallahassee by 5.
First and 10.
Even I'm nervous.
Line yard.
2 in the backfield with West. 4-3 defense in the line, and linebackers shift in opposite directions. West will throw. And West will check it to Lane. And Lane didn't get anything. Squat. Blackwell with the tackle at the line of scrimmage. West still under 200 yards in this game. Hyena pass defense
Second and 10.
much better this week. Alexander West had less than 100 yards of passing last week. 3 in the last 4 games. Back to pass on 2nd and 10. Flips it out to Jennings, who keeps his feet in and picks up 5. And Alexander West, 164 yards against Orlando. They won that game. 186 yards against Carolina. They won that game. With 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions in those games. And again, under 100 yards here today. The only exception, the 474 against the Renegades, whose pass defense was just horrible late in the season. 3rd down and 5 at the 33. Back to pass. That pass is caught by Kidd. First down, Tallahassee at the 44. And now the Pride can start thinking about running some clock. Just 3 points have been scored in this 4th quarter after we had 3 touchdowns in the first 5 minutes of the second half.
First and 10 from 45 yards.
The defenses have settled down. First down for the Pride. Jennings, bottom of the screen on the right side of the line. Logan still without a catch. Hand off to Lane, left side. Lane's got some blockers. Lane breaks a tackle. Blackwell cleans it up enough before a first down to the 43-yard line, and Tallahassee can continue to run clock. Down to 4:12 to go. 1 block, 2 blocks on the outside on Rockefeller. That's a great block.
First and 10. Ball at the 43-yard.
Tallahassee up by 5. Winner takes on Louisville and Orlando, who will play Sunday. West running a lot of clock. 5 on the play clock. Lane takes the handoff, picks up 2. But Tallahassee is in total conservative mode right now. That run gets Dwayne Lane over 200 yards. 202 and a touchdown on the day. That is his 5th 200-yard rushing performance of the season. An outstanding year for Dwayne Lane. 2nd and 8. Hand off Lane. And Lane lost 2. 3rd and 10 coming up. Down to 3:09 to go. These 2 teams have played their hearts out. Very good strategy. It's been one heck of a game. 2:50 left. 3rd down and 10. Tallahassee trying to keep the clock moving, down to 10 on the play clock. Will they run it again here and rely on their defense, or will they throw it? No, they're going to run it to Lane. Lane got away, and Lane nearly got into field goal range. This is an interesting decision now for Tallahassee. They could kick a 53-yard field goal and go up 8. They could go for it and keep the clock moving, but it looks like they're going to elect to punt, which means Houston could win a game with a touchdown in the final 2 minutes. Both teams have all 3 timeouts. But Tallahassee likes the way their defense has played. Here in the quarter, they snap it before the 2-minute warning. That saves Houston a timeout as the punt is stopped at the 7. We have reached the 2-minute warning, but Tallahassee could allow Houston to take the lead in the final 2 minutes of this SFL playoff opening game. This is the SFL Network.
Let's go.
Hats off to our cast and crew back at the SFL studios in San Antonio and here at County Stadium in Houston, Texas. 1st and 10 at the 7, back to pass, Coleman. Coleman steps up in the pocket, looking for somebody to get open. He's in trouble now, and he's going to be sacked. Adam Stackhouse on the sack. No huddle from the Hyenas. It's Adam Stackhouse's first sack of the season. Great coverage down the field. Houston now at the 4. Coleman back to pass, fires, it's caught, but shy of the first down to Fed. Post-game show will have second half highlights. Coleman to throw. Coleman flips it outside. Oh, he did not get the first down. You only need half a yard. How could you not run that past the sticks? Fourth and 1 for Coleman. They're going for it, and Coleman's pass is intercepted by Troy Minerva. Troy Minerva, A.J. Barnes, Darian McCormick, and the Tallahassee defense. In defense we trust. The Pride may have just won it. However, a first down seals the victory. But if Houston can get a stop, force a field goal, they can get the ball back down 1 score. It's not over yet, folks. Handoff to Lane. Lane, nothing. Timeout, Houston. Tallahassee can put this away with a first down. Just 3 points by either side here in the 4th quarter as the defenses have stepped up when it mattered. 2nd and 10 here for Tallahassee. Lane takes the carry and he lost 4 yards. Absolutely no room. We've got another clock problem. We have just all sorts of clock problems tonight, which, you know, it's always something new. Third down and 14. There's 1:06 on the clock. Handoff to Lane. Lane didn't get it. Timeout, Houston. They force a field goal on a 3 and out. And the Hyenas still have a shot. Field goal from Martinez, his 5th of the day, is good. And now Houston has 1 minute and no timeouts, and must get a 2-point conversion to force overtime. Post-game show will have highlights. SimulationFL.com will have the rest of the analysis. Later this evening is Tallahassee with 5 field goals, trying to hold off Houston, but they have not been able to put the Hyenas away. From the 5, Bergen's on the return. Bergen's to the 25, 55 seconds to go. We hope you like all the updated Rises 1 graphics tonight. Look forward to seeing some advertisements in between quarters. Lots of good stuff. Houston trying to get more good stuff here. They need a lot of it. Pass caught, 5-yard gain, stops the clock. B.R. Sims, 7th catch of the night for 207 as he has words with Minerva. Houston, no need to panic, out of timeouts, but if they can throw a 5-yard pass like that to run off 4 seconds every time, they could be in business. 2nd and 5 at the 30. Houston still has a shot to force overtime. And a great playoff opener. Coleman down the field, caught by Fett, who breaks a tackle! It's actually Bergens inside the 10. It's a touchdown! Oh, mama! What in the world was Darian McCormick doing on this play? Barry Bergens, who hasn't had a catch all day, and McCormick, he just runs step for step for Bergens, and he never closed on him. And the Houston Hyena fans have gone bonkers, throwing hats in the air, throwing all their food. It's crazy here. 3-back set, Lang gets the carry to tie it, Black ties the game at 36. Unbelievable. Darnell Black. But they left 39 seconds on the clock. just game in and game out. From the 8, Turner on the return. Turner past the 30, about the 30 and a half. Tallahassee, for their star kicker, already has 5 field goals today. Needs about 35 yards. Martinez had 5 field goals, or has actually never had 5 field goals in a game, had 4 last week. West back to pass. West State shot down the field. The pass is knocked away, and he's lucky that was not intercepted. Houston could have returned that. Second and 10. Wow, you can't take a risk like that in double coverage. Hyenas could have been 10 yards away from field goal range. Second and 10 at the 30. Who would have thought this game would be where it is right now? Second and 10, West against a blitz. Passes into coverage, incomplete. Houston's defense tightening the bolts. Jennings was the intended receiver again. Outstanding effort by Houston, despite trailing much of this game. They are fighting tooth and nail against the Pride in the battle of the jungle. Third and 10, West. Back to pass, deep shot. Down the field, it's picked. And Rockefeller returns past midfield under the 41. 18 seconds to go. You just can't throw that ball. Houston now just needs about 10 yards. Totally ill-advised, way too aggressive. Hell, Houston just needs about 8 yards for a field goal. And this is a similar ending to Houston's game last week, except reversed after Houston threw an interception that allowed OKC to kick a game winner. First and 10 at the 41 for the Hyenas. They do not have any timeouts. Oh, and Tallahassee jumped offside. They're just trying to give this game away. The Pride are falling apart. Unbelievable. I've run out of adjectives. Tallahassee in the last 2 minutes has completely tried to, oh my goodness, Houston's going to attempt the field goal.
Number 13 will hold the kick.
You can't blame them. They're out of timeouts. There's just not a lot of time, but this is a 53-yard kick for Houston. He missed from 48 earlier in the game, and he's short on that one too. Now Tallahassee will take over from their 43 with 3 timeouts left. That was a great kick by Jones. 1 yard in, and he would have made that. Boy, you know, I mean, if Houston could have run a route to the sticks, but they were worried that they wouldn't be able to stop the clock. So why not try to win the game there? They missed their second field goal of the game. West back to pass. And West fires it short. That pass is caught by Dolman. Down to 6 seconds left, and Tallahassee takes a timeout. And now the Pride can say a prayer. Wow. Are we seriously about to go to OT? To start the playoffs? Oh my. Out of this world. Hail Mary formation for Tallahassee. West back to pass against a 4-man rush. He lets it fly. West to the end zone. It is incomplete. Overtime in Houston. This is the SFL Network.
Gentlemen, please make your call.
We want tails.
Tails it is.
We'll receive.
The visiting team has won the toss and select to receive.
The Pride will get the football. I'm not sure when the last time was we had an overtime game in the playoffs. Kick is away. Return past the 25 for Turner after the 28. First score wins. We will go to double overtime if we don't have a score in the first overtime. 2 backs, 2 receivers for West. We're now deadlocked at 36. West back to pass. West fires down the field. It's intercepted again. Rockefeller returns to the 41. Back-to-back interceptions for Kanye Rockefeller. Is Alexander West serious right now? Tallahassee. It is going to be tough to sleep at night. They have blown this. Houston is still about, 11 yards away from realistic field goal range since they've already missed 2 long ones today. Coleman back to throw. Pass short, caught, 3-yard gain. Fed again. Now 8 grabs and over 100 yards on the day for Fed.
Second and 6.
Fed 837 yards on the year. Has had just one other 100-yard game this season, and that was against Dallas. Coleman back to pass, 2nd and 7. Coleman goes down the field, it's dropped! Could have put him in the field goal. Does anyone want to win this game? Pittman drops it. Would have easily put him in field goal range. And they're lucky it wasn't picked.
Third and 6 from 37 yards.
Third down, 7 at the 37-yard line for Houston. Back to pass, deep shot, wide open Sim! It's a walk-off! The Hyenas advance! Wide open! Kiss them goodbye! Highlights next!
36, 42.
Once again, your final. Houston 42, Tallahassee 36 in overtime. DR Sim is the player of the game with 244 yards and 3 touchdowns. This has been a presentation of the Simulation Football League and the SFL Network. For more post-game coverage, visit simulationfl.com. Good night from Houston. We'll see you Sunday.